starting next week, I'm going to start exploring the pentatonic scales. Well, the two major, the two most widely used, the major and the minor pentatonic scales. And as I go along, I would like to get you involved in that. Please take a look at this. I hope you can see it very clearly. All right, let's see right there. Hopefully you see it. Okay. Those are some notes that I wrote down in order to help me exploring the pentatonic scales one more time. Because remember, as people who think they know everything about music need to do some soul searching, because music is a constant learning. It's like no one, no matter how good you think you are in music, can say that, oh well, you know it all. No, we will always be students of music. So I am going back and learn and review my pentatonic scales. Let's see here. Take a look. You know, there are two boxes with little circles in them. The circles, this is actually they are notes on the guitar. Okay. All right. So those two boxes I call them pentatonic scale shape, and there are different shapes on the guitar. This is one of them. And then if you have that shape in your head, it will be very easy for you to play that scale. Remember, well, you have 5 notes. You got 5 notes in the scale, because it's penta, 5, and tonic, pentatonic. So you got pentatonic 5 notes. So you got 5 notes in the scale, as opposed to the major scale, which has 7 notes. So when you play your pentatonic scales, you're actually playing 5 notes from the major scale. This is why it is very important for musicians and guitar players to know your scales, to understand the nature of your scales. Okay, so the scale, to go back to the scale shape. Okay, those two boxes again. Okay, those are a scale shape. For each note of the 5 note, you have a scale shape. Then I would say that you have you have 5 scale shape, 5 scale shapes, one for each note in the major pentatonic scales. Okay, now if you want to go even further, what about the minor pentatonic scales? Those are 5 more shapes. So you could say that you have 10 shapes that you need to know. Okay, so don't worry, it is not a big deal. if you have those shape, if you have those shape in your head as you play, you will not have any problem playing the scales. Okay, so but there are ways to learn how to do that. So that this is what I'm going to do next week. I'm going to start posting about the pentatonic scales, and you will be able to understand how I'm practicing, and you can maybe you can learn something from it, from what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be fun because those scales are very important scales, and then when you master them, man, the sound is so pleasing, when you're playing, and then that's what I like about them. And then one thing, let me tell you something that you need to know. If you know one shape, let's say you know one shape in your head for the major pentatonic scale, you actually know two shapes in one shape. Because when you play the guitar, it's good to save energy. It's good to have economy of motion, so you don't have to be moving your hand all over the place. Like that's what I like about the pentatonic scale. I can play the major pentatonic scales using one shape, and to play the minor pentatonic scale, I don't have to move anywhere. I can play the minor pentatonic scale using the same shape. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to understand, but one thing to know, you wanted to know, it is paramount that you know your major scale, because this is where you're gonna get your 5 notes for the major pentatonic scale, and also your Dorian scale, which is a minor scale from the second degree, the second note of the major scale. So get ready, don't panic. Together we're gonna learn, and we're gonna play those two scales very, very nicely. Until then, enjoy playing.